and welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering the Fairfax Rod and Gun Club's two-gun action challenge match of January 2023.
Back. Y'all sound like quacking ducks.
All right, we're going to call this month's match the learning experience, because learn something each stage, which is a good thing because I'm going to spoil you right up front. My scores are not the greatest here. So this was stage 3, and why am I starting on stage 3? Well, that was the stage I started on, and for the progression of what I learned, it's best to start here rather than just starting on stage 1 and working through. So as I am climbing up in the years, the eyesight is not what it used to be. And early about the summer of 2022, started noticing that iron sights were not as crisp as they should have been, and figured, okay, well, that's just a hint, I'm going to red dots. Well, as I prepared the for this match the evening before, pulled out the pistol and noticed that, even the holosun dot is not the clearest it should be. So tried doing this one wearing my reading glasses, because I've heard that a lot of times if your sights get blurry, put that, because as long as your sights are clear, you can make your hits, and that is actually very true, so I'm glad I learned that lesson. However, I'm not a person used to using glasses, and yeah, that was suboptimal performance. That was disorientating, as you can see here. I already start off confused, even though I was ROing the stage and knew exactly where the shooting point was. I got that wrong right off the bat, so that shows you how much of a loop the reading glasses threw me for. Now, don't despair. While you saw a less than optimal run there for me, because I'm learning how to use glasses, I have my friend Long Pang along. Long is well used to using his glasses and did really good on this stage. And let's take a look at his run here. As simple as this stage appears to be, everybody I witnessed shoot it, regardless of how good their time was, somebody at some point had a trouble with a target presentation moving back and forth. It was a very interesting thing to observe.
Go, one more.
And time. They finish on load show clear slide forward, pull that trigger, and holster. 7194.
Moving on to stage 4, which was the second stage I shot at the match, and the first one I shot with a rifle, and learned some lessons here. First lesson I learned, if the match begins at 9 a.m., throwing on a new magnifier at 2300 the night before and zeroing it against the wall of your room is probably not the best idea if you're going to be shooting at 100 and 200 meter targets the next day.
All right.
And that's basically what tripped me up on this stage. I had the focus completely off on the magnifier, adjusted it a little bit on the clock, but it was not right. So the 100 meter hits came, the 200 meters were a struggle. And combine that with that I'm using a Steyr AUG that prior to this match, I put a whopping 12 rounds through, zeroing it. And while the zero was good, getting used to a crunchy trigger under an out-of-focus magnifier made hitting that 200 meter target a lot harder than it should have been. Not having the equipment just right made this stage tougher than it had to be. It was already a challenge. Moving the tires after getting the hits was a cumulative thing, because as you moved each tire over, you got a little more winded and all that, and your shooting position changed each time you were making your shots. And like I said, not having the equipment right made a difficult stage a bit more difficult than it needed to be. Cumulatively, with the 200 meter hits just not happening quick enough, I ended up parring out and taking 3 60-second penalties for the 3 targets I did not get engaged to complete the stage.
I was going to grab the tire. 90 seconds, last shot fired.
Oh no.
High. High. Low.
I don't think it's like 2 minutes.
Left.
I think it's
Left elevation's good. Time.
like
Again, luckily, Long Peng was here, had a good run on this stage, so you can see how it should have been done. He had a grip pod on his rifle. Now, people either love or hate grip pods, but I have to say here, where he's constantly putting the rifle down and picking back up, it was definitely advantageous for him. Also, the fact that he's clearly moving faster than I was didn't hurt either. Also, the fact that this stage was self-resetting and required no reset between shooters, it really ran very smoothly. Peng is also showing the advantage of having all your equipment right. He knows his zero, it's zeroed good, his magnifier is adjusted properly, he's familiar with his rifle, and he's getting the payoff for it here.
Pushing it. Keep going. It's absurd.
Left.
Actually makes it easier to see when it's moving.
High. Right, yeah. Left.
Right. Yeah. It goes right into your face.
Hit finish on load show clear. 9-4-5-5.
Alrighty, moving on to stage one, a rifle-only stage where you had a target at 100 meters and a target at 300 meters, and you had to get 5 hits on each. And now I've adjusted my magnifier, got it properly focused, and I get the proper results. 3 hits in, and it's going well for me here, and I can't complain. Of obviously having the optics focused has made a difference. The hits are coming. But here's where my mistake comes on 4th hit. I got the 2nd hit, which was the first hit on the 300-meter target from the kneeling, got it in 1 hit, so went right back to the kneeling, and the hits didn't come. I wasted entirely too many shots before going to the prone and getting the hit right away. Now, what was causing this? Kneeling's not as stable as prone, and the AUG has a really crunchy trigger that I still haven't quite gotten used to yet. And I just end up committing to this position way too long before getting my hit.
Pups are like little dogs.
The rest of the stage goes fairly smoothly. I know when I get to the 300-meter target, I have to go prone. When I go prone, the hits come fairly quickly. I've committed too much to that 4th engagement, though, that it wasted so much time that in the end, I'm going to end up taking a penalty not being able to get the last target on this stage.
84 seconds. You got it.
Round 4. You got this. But you were able to see it.
94 seconds.
You got this. Keep going.
Hey, move.
Nice, nice.
Come on, last shot was 113. You got it. You got it. You got it.
Time.
Once again, Long Peng's having a good run here at the match, and he shoots this stage clean. Let's take a look and see how it's supposed to be done. Had he been sliding into home here, he'd have been safe. Hit, go!
Go!
Keep going.
Last round, you got this. High. Low. Hey! Come on, you got it! 98 seconds, last shot fired. Yeah.
Come on, you're low.
1-1-5-0-5.
Behold, I bear the likeness of Fagin. Be gone, you spinner!
All right, shooter. Are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
The spinner, once it realized that I bore the likeness of Fagin, knew it stood no chance and was easily vanquished. Here's where the AUG having a completely different manual of arms to an AR really tripped me up. Obviously, I was ridiculously slow getting it unloaded, and moving with a bag full of brass is a little bit more difficult than it looks. But luckily, I still get to the spinner. It's got momentum. Start getting hits here. Things are going in the right direction. Keeping up the momentum on it, getting the hits, throwing in a miss or two because why not? And then, yes, the problems will start. So I begin the immediate action drill, trying to get it through it as fast as I can to maintain the momentum. However, the problem is I've had a serious pistol malfunction. Even changing mags doesn't solve the problem. And we'll talk about more of that problem here in a little bit while we watch Mr. Pang show everybody how this is supposed to be done.
It's not even going to battery
Barrel
within a
obstruction.
Yeah.
Call it.
Call it. Let me see this real quick. All right, man.
Now let's take a look at Mr. Long Pang's clean run on this stage.
Stand by.
And while we're doing that, I'm going to explain what my pistol problem was. Something went wrong with the internals, and the back plate came loose, slid down just enough to prevent the pistol from going into battery.
Over.
So
Clear.
all the immediate action drills were never going to fix the problem. You know, switching mags didn't do it. Slamming on the back of the slide to get it going in battery didn't do it. And didn't even realize that the plate had slid out of position and was blocking the slide from going into battery until after the stage was over. Immediately after the sliding the plate back in place, of course the gun ran just fine.
Motherfucker.
You're at 68 seconds. You got plenty of time. Slow and steady. Get your hits.
We hope you enjoyed this coverage of the Fairfax Rod and Gun Club's 2-Gun Action Challenge match of January 2023. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in for future match videos.
Finished unload and show clear.